So yeah, he just went into the quest, cleared out the first level, and used that moat to blank a bunch of potions and scrolls. That's where we left off. Dungeon level 14, cleared the mines, cleared Sokoban. Probably going to see his inventory here in a second. So, still using a Dwarvish Maddock, which is a solid weapon for a archaeologist. I have the Bullwhip, which you've been using to pry weapons out of people's hands. He's actually been using this +4 dagger a lot, so that's pretty nice. Yeah, take it easy, Reclats. I appreciate the gesture. Cloak of Invisibility. So basically, we got a wish for a Silver Dragon Scale Mail in the mines from a magic lamp. That's the main good piece of armor here, but I appreciate the attempt, Reclats. Take it easy, man. What else do we have? Alright, that's all he's gonna look at now. Bag of Holding came from Sokoban. Any nice wands. Poly, Sleep. Looks like no teleportation, which is usually pretty nice. Stethoscope, which he's been using a lot. Got a unicorn horn already. And the Luckstone from Mind's End. And he found a Coline unicorn in Mindtown, so he used that to get his luck maxed. Using some gems that he had, so. See where he goes from here. I'm gonna take it slow right here at the beginning just to see if we can get a glimpse of what he has in his bag of holding. Like right here. So yeah, a lot of blank paper. He just blanked pretty much everything he didn't want. Saved a few scrolls that are somewhat useful. Surprised he still has Stinking Cloud. He might have picked that up since. I didn't see what that second page had, but it didn't look like much. I don't have as much control over what screens we're going to be seeing because I'm not using Jetty Play right now, so we're just going to have to go with it. Yeah, at least I can use the spacebar to toggle it from pausing. Interesting. Okay. Looks like he's going to generate some gray dragons. Obviously hunting for some scales right now. I suppose he wants some MR. So he used he burned Elbereth on the ground just to have like a safe spot. But it looks like with his AC and that Maddock, I think Maddox do huge damage to large monsters, so that was interesting. Hey, what's up, Lucky? Yeah, I do. I've been reviewing some NetHack games, so if I don't know if you're familiar with NetHack or the NetHack scene right now, but Tariru is on a. I guess he just hit Ascension 59. So he doubled the previous best streak record, and he's still going. He's actually playing right now. So we've been kind of looking over what he's doing and seeing what he's doing that's I don't know, keeping him from dying and being so successful. So I kind of wonder if the Gray Dragon stuff was a I don't know. He just wants magic resistance to not deal with polytraps. So he's gonna so he put the scales on. You can harden that into scale mail. Is what he's about to do. Kind of closet there to get himself into relative safety. So it's kind of interesting about this right now to me is that he wished for Silver Dragon Scale Mail earlier, and now he wants Gray Dragon Scale Mail. It's probably pretty unlikely that he would get like a Cloak of Magic Resistance or another mode of Magic Resistance by this time. So I would think that maybe he values the Reflection better in the early game and Magic Resistance more now. I don't know if there's a certain cutoff that he's eyeing based on his experience level and the dungeon level where he might start like running into spellcasters that have can cast Finger of Death. Or he's concerned about polytraps, which are a concern as well. This deep in the dungeon, although he's been on polytrap levels for a while now. I don't know how long he's had that Curse Scroll of Genocide in his inventory. So this is a pretty interesting moment right here. Played NetHack for a bit, 12 years ago. Yeah, a lot of people have played a long time ago. You ended up winning something in Golden Krone Hotel? Oh, congratulations. Yeah, I finished the Assassin run. I got 30 Demon Rings. And I got second place. First place was Icebox. He had 12 or 20, 24, 26, something like that. But he had half the turns I did, which impacts the score a lot. So he maintained first place. It was pretty fun though. I've never been into the underworld before, so that was pretty interesting. I think I got a second place prize. Fire elementals, those are very annoying. Although, I remember now, he got really lucky with resistances this run, so I know he has fire resistance. Oh, I see. Okay, so okay. He wants to do the archaeologist quest. Which, I don't remember the exact specifics, so let's look it up for a moment. I would normally just pull up the wiki on this page, but because I had to upsize it, it's gonna look weird. You're just gonna see like this. um yeah, I don't remember what the minion of oh god, I've never had to actually say this out loud. Hewitt total. Normally does. He does have spell casting. But can he cast death magic? Hmm. His drain strength, destroy armor, curse items spell. So even if he can't do Finger of Death, he can be pretty annoying with without magic resistance. So I wonder if that's why Tariru started to get magic resistance there. I don't know if there's anything particularly dangerous here. It's not full of wand users, so it's not like there's like a wand of death he'd be worried. Oh, he had reflection before too, so wand wouldn't matter. I guess just being aware that he's a spellcaster would be my guess there, but we're gonna keep on going and see what he does. Now, I like the quest levels. These filler levels are pretty nice because they have a certain guaranteed number of randomly generated items. And those randomly generated items are where you get a lot of nice equipment a lot of the time. So these are always worth fully exploring, in my opinion. And when I say randomly generated items, like they're guaranteed, and it ends up being essentially a higher quantity of items than on like a normal dungeon floor. So you'll end up maybe getting some nice potions or scrolls or a piece of armor or something. So wands. Oh, there's the polymorph trap. Good thing he had that magic resistance. They also generate traps with a pretty high frequency, I think. Probably take a look at that again, see what this is what the filler levels. So yeah, 8 random objects. Oh, there's a bunch of snakes which have hiding objects, which is just more items. And then every level of these filler levels up top have 4 random traps. So I guess that would have been bound to happen on the quest anyways. Interesting that he didn't even try engrave testing that wand. Oh, he has identified spell now. Okay, that's why. It's pretty damn helpful. And same idea here. Like this level has a bunch of randomly generated items. Every level of the quest does really. So there's like potions scattered all over the place. There's a piece of armor up here. So I always like levels that have those guaranteed items more than just regular dungeon levels. It makes places like Mind's End worth exploring even if you don't want just like the luck stone or anything. See if I can tweak the speed a bit. This is the mid game, so it's probably largely I don't know, uneventful. We'll see how he decides to handle the quest nemesis here. It's not a particularly difficult nemesis. And then when he gets to the castle, things should be interesting as well. But he's still missing a lot of pieces of his Ascension kit. So it'll be interesting to see how he deals with stuff like that. We just got some padded gloves. Oops. Oh no, my spacebar doesn't work anymore. That is not cool. Guess I'll use my mouse. Oh, he got an amulet of reflection. I don't know when that amulet showed up, so that's okay. That's the completely obvious reason. I was doing a lot of conjecture on why he swapped the silver scale mail out for Grey Dragon, and that explains it completely. So He decided to leave. Nice, got a few wraiths. There's a graveyard up there that he woke up. Knocked back the speed back down. That's a lot of wraiths. You got a one of those vanish engraving wands. Teleportation would be quite nice because I don't think he has that yet. The wraith flees downstairs. I wonder if he has like a set level that he's pretty happy with. Well, he just gave up that wraith corpse, so maybe that answers our question. You just passed it up because if you raise your level too much, you'll start getting you'll increase the difficulty of monsters that generate. But you know, you get more health and such, so it's pretty useful up to an extent. But usually running around at like level 30 is not super helpful. I wonder if he went through the quest just to get to that altar. So he turned right back around after he curse tests all his items. She probably could have done slowly with identify anyways. Well, he didn't even. Oh yeah, these are all uncursed. Okay. Just building some extra potions here. Surprised he didn't use that moat again. If he had some stuff he wanted to dilute like he did earlier. Gonna zap here. Sleep. Yeah, I like using sleep against nymphs. They could be a pain in the ass if they take one of your items. That one was awake when it was generated, but if you walk up to one, we got a throne room here, it looks like. Little trees corpses. Nothing too scary in there. Or, they're not corpses, they're cockatrices, but they can turn into corpses. He just used the wrong wand. Whoops. He didn't mean to use that wand of digging. Oh, was it set to Z? I think it was. Set to something. Useless. That's funny. I don't know if he already knows what a wand of opening. Okay. Not a fan of wands of opening, huh? I don't know if he has a yeah, I'm trying to break that boulder. Oh, he's using identify, okay. A lot of food in there. I don't know if he has sleep resistance or not. Um, he probably does, otherwise I suspect he would have tinned that elf corpse. Empty lamp. Or lantern, I should say, which is an important distinction because you can't use potions of oil on a lantern. You can on a lamp. I think he has probably more light sources though. A lot of nymphs, huh? Does he have magic missile? I didn't. That's what it looked like he zapped, didn't it? Find out next time he checks his spells. Collecting a faded Paul. He does have one of polymorph, so those are magic armor, so they're very nice to polymorph. I suspect he'll probably do some polymorphing at some point. Or polypiling, I should say. Nice way to round out your Ascension kit. He doesn't have a lot of good magic armor yet, so... Hey, a little 21 shop. Those aren't super common. You can see he's going into each, let's go slow through here. Oh, we were already on 1 time speed. I was gonna say you could see he's popping into every level when he finds a staircase and just throwing on his blindfold and coming back up. So just seeing that first room and then like all the non-brainless monsters on the level can give you a lot of information. So he's gonna clean up all these mimics, I suspect. So let's see. There's any good loot in here? I don't think he's gonna spend too much time in this shop. He likes to do a lot of credit manipulation with like pets and, and stuff when he has one. Chant weapon, identify, taming. 100 price potion, a ring. So enchant weapon and identify are always useful. Although these identify spells, so I don't know if he's actually going to use that scroll or not. You can always blank it though. So he only could tell if that was either 150 or 200 base price ring until he bought it, and then he tried selling it, and he could get an exact base price on that because you basically only get one price when you're selling, but you can end up with two when you're buying. There are two when you're selling, but you can force both of them, and then you know the higher one is the real price. Oops. Oh man. I got a glimpse of his spell list for a second. Oh, there it is again. It's hard to do. He was only leaving that open for half a second because he knew which letter he was using. that, that dwarf just make his own entrance to that shop? That's funny. It's like the shopkeeper's in the way. I'm just gonna make a hole next to the door. He did identify or determine that he has another 300 base price scroll. And actually, he already has Stinking Cloud and Genocide, so that must be charging, which is nice. Especially since we're about to get to the castle here soon. I suppose it could also be punishment as well, so he needs to narrow that down. I'm sure he's going to identify that pretty fast. I told you. So yeah, it is a scroll of charging. I'm sure he's pretty happy about that right now. So he's just going ahead and identifying everything right now. Surprised he even bothered price IDing stuff. Well, I guess he didn't buy everything in the shop. Or did he? Oh, maybe he did. There's stethoscope. I'm gonna see what's behind those iron bars, it looks like. Or maybe not. A gremlin there. It probably is nighttime, because I assume Tariru's in Europe. Most of the time he plays is pretty late. In what I'll call NAO, nethack.alt.org server time, so gremlins can steal intrinsics with their melee attack at night. So it ate some frost giants, up to strength a tad bit. That's some magic gloves. I didn't notice what the padded gloves you got earlier were. We're gonna clear out this throne room. Your vision becomes clear. I believe that's see invisible intrinsic he just earned. He's just gonna go ahead and clear out the rest of the throne room. You can get some nice offensive items, and when I say that, it's like a a bracket of items or a selection of items that enemies can start with. Certain potions and wands and stuff. There's like a subset of offensive items and one of defensive items that certain enemies have a chance of starting with. Are there defensive items? I think there are. But that's how like soldiers, like when you run into like a barracks, end up having like a lot of wands and whatnot. And the chest in here is really useful too. Don't underrate those chests, especially in like graveyards. You can get like a lot of good loot in the chests in graveyards because usually there's more than one. Or like Valley of the Dead. Oh yeah, you'll find some good chests in there. Like, look, he just got a scroll of enchant armor and gain ability. And I actually like monster detection for a few points in the game. That's nice too. I mean, blessed monster detection, like when you're on the plains, is nice. I'd expect him to use that scroll of enchant armor right away. Hey, he's making a stash. Interesting. I didn't notice if he was like on the verge of like encumbrance or anything. I don't use stashes a lot, but maybe I would if I had a 40-game streak on the line. Which he's well past at this point, by the way. But this was the 40th game. Is he stashing all his poly fodder? It looks like. Yeah, that's a lot of gear. He'd probably start ending up with encumbrance problems by the time he gets to like Valley of the Dead. I don't know. A blessed bag of holding goes a long way. Right, let's speed through this a little faster. Junk chest. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so he does have magic missile. Well, that answers why he wanted to get his experience level up, because magic missile scales with your level. Level 17, it's pretty damn powerful, actually. Oh, Medusa. And the Raven variety, which is a really, really, really annoying level. I'm kind of... I don't know. I'm actually kind of curious to see how he deals with this, because maybe he'll teach me something. Give me 1 second, I want to refresh my coffee. So yeah, let's see what he does here. See, and on this level, I don't even think there's a good place to like dig down. Because in order to dig down, like you can't have any adjacent water tiles, otherwise the pit you make will just fill up with water. I mean, with negative 14 AC, this should be pretty easy, but like I've been on this level sometimes and it's been like really annoying. Because there's 30 ravens, I believe, and ravens aren't strong monsters by any means, but they can whittle you down pretty good when you're surrounded by 9 of them constantly. With negative 14 AC, it probably won't be too bad. This up. I wonder if that was an accident moving onto that tile. Ravens cleared. Like I said, not a threat with negative 14 AC. Jabberwock, on the other hand, it can be pretty dangerous. Again, negative 14 AC, probably not terrible. Negative 14 AC is pretty nice. One of Enlightenment, nice. I think he's looking for Perseus. Can break his this statue is basically like a pinata. You just smash that thing open and you can get some goodies. Wandering around collecting all the items here. Hmm. So, is it levitation boots that are always in Perseus, I believe, and then shield of reflections. That's pretty nice. He just left the shield there. I don't remember if those are magical as far as polypiling goes. They probably aren't. So he already has an amulet of reflection, and probably he's using a two-handed weapon. He's probably not going to get much use out of that. Yeah, Medusa down. Let's see. There's an but he just dig down on that maze level, which is kind of what you want to do. He's just gunning for the castle, and he probably didn't want to deal with that demi lich that was over there. Actually, so the magic mapping trick for maze levels is if you know the downstair of the level below, you can dig down freely and then magic map that level. And then you know where the upstairs is on that level. And if you go up, you can find the downstairs and the level above. So now you know both stairs for that first level you were on, which makes it really easy to. And then you can just connect the dots from there. That's my whole Gehenna strategy, basically, is I map out every other level using that. And then you just have to be aware of, like, Vlad's staircase and stuff like that, so you don't miss it. That's actually really the only one, but there are some other special levels that, although you won't miss them, like, you just need to be aware of where you're at. Alright, so we're at the castle. Let's assess the situation for a minute. We have 2 liches, 3. 2 Zorns, which are pretty annoying. Here, and the biggest thing is there are 2 Minotaurs right behind this boulder here, right behind this cat, actually. Negative 14 AC is pretty solid even against Minotaurs, but they can still dish out a lot of damage. I suspect he'll use a Wand of Sleep, or maybe even Magic Missile from a range to deal with them. We'll see what he does. Yeah, he's just have to sleep at that Minotaur. Minotaurs have 0 monster MR, so sleep basically always works on them. Not basically, I guess it always does, but sometimes it doesn't put them to sleep for very long. And you can miss as well, but if it hits, it always puts them to sleep. Usually you want to, like, sometimes you want to zap it twice if you want to make sure they're not going to wake up before you kill them. A lot of people genocide Minotaurs, but I don't know. I love the Wands of Digging that they give you, because that's how I get through the mazes of Gehenna. Which I guess I could just use a pickaxe, but I don't know. It's annoying swapping all the time, having that extra weight, and it takes time. If I were on a streak, I probably wouldn't worry about that for the longevity of the streak you're on, but I don't know, for some reason I just don't like wasting turns, even if turns don't really matter. Obviously, if you're going for like a speed run or something, you're gonna do something completely different tactics in that regard, but no harm using a pickaxe throughout the mazes. I suppose he just wanted those giants corpses over there. I don't really know why he went back up there. That's as good a reason of any, though. So I don't know. I guess we'll find out in a second here if he has an instrument, which is the best way to deal with the castle generally. Um, Otherwise, there are a lot of different options. So let's see how he deals with this. I mean, he has reflection and pretty solid AC, so he could really just fight everything if he needs to. Honestly, the castle's a really interesting level. It'd be nice if there were more levels like that. So what he's doing now is blocking off this front part of the moat so that other sea creatures can't get in here. Which the sharks can't drown you, but they are annoying. These can drown you. These are giant eels, and this one can drown you. He's about to kill this giant eel with a wand. Trying to kill that shark. Suspect he'll do the same thing with a boulder on that side. Something I like to do sometimes is plug that hole with a boulder too, which he made it wider to move this one around. Especially if there's like a minotaur back here that I don't want to fight. Just made a place where those Zorns are going to come across. Those Zorns can do a lot of damage even at negative 14 AC sometimes. Obviously they didn't threaten him that much there, but especially if they're not alone, they can hit hard. Alright, looks like he's just gonna blast open the front door. Was that Titan I saw for a second? I didn't notice that earlier. Yeah, so that could be annoying. We'll see what happens. Of course, Disenchanter is the first thing to come out. What's going on here? Is he gonna let everything just pour out? Hang on. I can't go back 5 seconds in this player. Oh well. Just keep going. There's no going back, guys. I'll have to try and get Jetty play working again before next week. Turn play isn't nearly as nice for this application. This feels, I don't know, dangerous, reckless. There's, I mean, he's got good AC and a decent health pool at this point, but man, there's just a lot of monsters just pouring out of that thing. Okay, so he's making this his choke point. He really doesn't like that Guardian Naga. I think they have a paralysis attack, and we can confirm that. Which would make them, you know, quite deadly. Yeah, bite 1d6 paralysis, so. And in this situation, that could be extremely deadly, so I think that's why he is just trying to deal with him at range. Man, that's just a lot of guys. I'm trying to deal with that Lich. Lich down. That's one of 3. I think it's the only one that might have poured out into the front room so far. So with his health pool, AC, and the Madoc, he can fight most of these guys one at a time. That soldier just read a scroll of Earth. That's kind of funny. I don't know why that's so humorous, but it actually just like gave him a little boulder fort to fight out of. There's a disenchanter here. I assume he doesn't want to let his Madoc get disenchanted at all. So I think he just equipped his Unicorn Horn to attack the Disenchanter with. Nice little tactic there. You can use a Unicorn Horn against any monster with like a either Disenchanter or like a an Acid Blob or something even. You don't want it to hurt your main weapon. Road it or reduce the enchantment. The Titan is out. So are two Liches. That's a lot of spellcasters. Regular Liches aren't a big deal really. Um, Aggregate monster can be pretty annoying, but everything already seems to know he's there. I mean, they can use some magic, but this Titan can cast summon nasties, which can make things really bad really fast. I think he just realized he still had that unicorn horn equipped. Because he got the message that he could level it up. That's funny. I'll tell you what, that moment when your archaeologist goes to some puny wimp to like something that can actually like fight shit is a pretty satisfying point in the game. Remember the last archaeologist I played, I spent so many turns just like being terrified of like the most basic monsters because I had like 60 health and like 0 AC. And I couldn't even hit anything with my weapon. It was bad for a while. But he's high level, he's got max luck, so he can hit everything, and obviously his AC and his health pool are pretty good right now, so he doesn't have all that to worry about. I feel like that is a pretty big hurdle for some of the weaker roles like Archaeologist, though. What did he just zap? I saw he put it on one of Polymorph, but it didn't look like he actually polymorphed anything. I don't know what he zapped there. I'd go back, but it's a pain in the ass in turn play, so I don't think there's anything too critical. I'm not gonna worry about it. Was he able to polymorph the Titan? Maybe that was it. They have decent MR, so it's not easy to do. Now the Titan's there, both Liches are still there. The Disenchanter was there. I don't know what he polymorphed. Or if that's even what he zapped. He zapped something again. He was blindfolded, so maybe he's been zapping Magic Missile. His power's max. I really, I'm not sure. We just gotta summon Nasties. Nothing too bad. Actually, a Minotaur, it looks like. A red dragon. Purple worm. Nice, he finally got that Titan next to him. Alright, Titan's dead. He's pretty happy about that. I gotta deal with all these other nasties that he summoned. That Lich is just sitting there casting Aggravate Monster. I suspect he's going to tin that Soccer Corpse and get permanent invisibility. Let's see. There's an Elf Lord and a Troll down there. That Lich is still alive and looks like a Minotaur up there. Almost cleared out all the main threats. The next step is dealing with these barracks, which not difficult, but a little bit tedious. They can have some wands, and then just takes a while to whittle them all down. Oh, it's just an Etten. It's not a Minotaur. 42 health. All these monsters have been taking a toll on him. So he just drank 2 potions of extra healing, but it didn't really help him at all. The Etten just did as much damage back to him. He's got like a net, what was he, like 42, 8 HP out of that? I think he drank both of them. He drank at least one of them. Maybe the other one's sitting in his inventory still. When you try to storm the castle without, I mean, he had good like combat stuff, but I think that Titan and the Disenchanter, like in the front, threw him off or something. I feel like he could have probably played this slightly safer. I mean, it's not like he was ever at any like real risk of dying, but you can usually just kill things like one by one if you need to. What are these messages? I'm not familiar with that. Oh, it's a fortune cookie, okay. I saw some message about playing Leapfrog with a unicorn too. Looks like everything's dead. Well, there's a Lich and a soldier there. Time to get all that fat loot. And some more giant meat. Upping that strength. Oh, sweet. Okay. Figured out how to bring spacebar control back to turn play. Right-clicking deselected the speed slider, which is what was causing it not to work. He's bringing that boulder in, but I think a soldier is just gonna get stuck behind it. I mean, I guess he has magic missile, so I assume he's gonna plug one of those barrack doors with it. Just kind of slick. I don't think I've ever done that before. Usually they start pouring out before you even get a chance, though, so it'll be... Maybe he wants to plug one of the trap doors. He has levitation, so it's not really a big deal. Oh, he just shattered it. I don't really know what he was doing with that boulder. Soldier with an amulet of life saving, nice. Or sergeant. Not well. Actually, he probably would put on an amulet of life saving with this streak on the line. I wonder how many, if he's been doing that, and how many times, if any, that he's died with an amulet of life saving on. He'd have to rejigger his inventory or his equipment a bit though, because he's using amulet of reflection right now, which is going to be more valuable than life saving. There's always a few monsters left just walking around the throne room, not caring about anything else. There's something about ogre movement or something that makes them not chase you. I don't know. So he just got trapped by that chest. I wonder how many times he tried to untrap it. That was interesting. He's usually pretty careful about that. Although not anymore. I saw him only search traps like 3 times on a chest earlier. Man, I wish I was using... Can I do this now? Oh, sweet. I got nothing from the throne. He didn't even search for traps on that chest. That's kind of ballsy, I think. At least try once. Like, he could have gotten a jolt that blew up all his wands or something. I think there's still a chance that happens at even at max luck. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Let's look that up actually. Part of what I like to do during these reviews is kind of when I make a non-committal statement like that, I like to confirm things instead of leaving stuff hanging like that. So container trap. Let's see, trap effects. There's a chance it'll be harmless. It occurs based on luck. Otherwise, the number will be chosen between 0 and 25. Yeah, there's always that 1 in 20 chance that this will be randomly chosen from the full range, so... Otherwise, the number will be between 0 and 13 minus luck. Okay, so outside of that 1 in 20 chance, if you have max luck, which he does, then it's always going to be 0, which on this page is just the a cloud of gas billows from it, which means you get stunned or hallucination, which are trivial when you have a unicorn horn. But that 1 in 20 chance is, I mean, it's 1 in 20, and then you have to hit one of the other things. It's annoying if the container explodes, or if you get the shock, which is actually relatively low on the list. Each ring and one in your open inventory has a 1 in 3 chance of being destroyed, even if you're shock resistant. So, I feel like that was a little careless on his part, I have to admit. I think he should have at least searched for traps once. Or a few times. I know it's a pretty low odd that that would have happened, but I mean, I don't think he stashed all his wands before opening that, which is something I'll do sometimes. I'm usually comfortable enough though if I just like search it a handful of times. And feel pretty comfortable that there's no traps on there, but he didn't even use it once, and there was a trap on there. And, you know, 95% of the time, even higher than that, it's going to be harmless, but you know, that other 1, 2, 3%, I don't know if the odd off the top of my head that it ends up being something bad, it can be really frustrating. So, nothing noteworthy in that weapons stash there. Sometimes you find an artifact or something in there. With those stats, you've got a good chance of searching for traps. Yeah, you really do, because it's based on experience level and dungeon level, I think. So, I mean, even if you searched it 2 or 3 times, you'd probably be pretty damn confident that there's not a trap there. You can search for traps indefinitely with no risk of setting them off. Is this the black market? No, this is the castle. There's no black market in vanilla NetHack. We're watching 3.6.0 NetHack vanilla. This is the castle, so in the back of the castle, there's 4 storerooms. One has weapons, one has armor, one has food, and one has gemstones. It's good to search these rooms, because if you don't know, the castle also has a guaranteed one of wishing. So, like, once you get that, you basically start wishing up some, like, good items, like armor and stuff. So, a few things that you want to check back here before using that wand usually is, A, is there any artifact, or have there been any artifacts generated? Because a lot of people want to wish for an artifact, and if there's already been 2 artifacts generated, you don't have a guaranteed chance of actually getting that artifact. And your chance gets lower and lower for every artifact that's already in the game. So sometimes you'll find like an ogre smasher or something in that weapon stash, and it just ruins your artifact chances. You don't know why if you didn't check. And on the armor side, sometimes you just find good armor that you may have ended up wishing for anyways. It's always good to check these before you use that wand. If you can afford to, which you can. So an opera cloak. It's a magic cloak. Snow boots. Magic boots. Look at displacement. I don't know, nothing great. Invisibility is general or better, basically. And if you have permanent visibility or something, then it doesn't even do anything. The thing about weapons, you found that early on, heavy weapons aren't worthwhile. I don't know exactly what you're considering to be a heavy weapon, but yeah, like two-handed swords and stuff are extremely heavy, and depending on what your carrying capacity is, it could be really limiting to have something that heavy early on. But for instance, like sometimes they can like do decent damage. Like he's an archaeologist, so he's been using a dwarvish mattock this entire game, which they're probably relatively heavy. Let's see. Swarvish? Let me type correctly. Yeah, 120 weight. They're pretty heavy. But you know, 1d12 damage versus small, and then d8 plus 2d6 versus large. They can do some decent damage, and an archaeologist doesn't have a lot of options, so he's been using that basically the whole game so far. I suspect he'll want an artifact weapon or something at some point and get rid of that, but he hasn't really gotten to that point yet, and so he's been using that the whole time. So I mean, as with everything, it's scenario based. Oh shit! He just got a wand of death. That's awesome. And the soldier killed himself with it, so he only wasted one charge. That's really convenient. If he shot him at a different angle or something, that soldier could have zapped like a few more times as he was closing in on him. You thought archaeologists used Grayswindir or Frostbrand? Yeah, they can get expert in Saber. That's one of their better skills. Let's pull it up. So yeah, expert, pickaxe, saber, boomerang, and whip. Boomerang and whips are jokes, but yeah, pickaxe and saber. So yeah, Grayswindir is one of the better weapons for them. He is a neutral, and Grayswindir is lawful, which he can still use it, but short of wishing for it or finding it in a bones file, he's not going to get a Grayswindir. And I doubt he's the kind of guy to use a wish on Grayswindir. We'll find out in a minute. So I don't see that happening. They can't get any skill in longsword, so I mean, you can use a weapon unrestricted when you have max luck and are high level like he is, and not really worry about the 2-hit penalty too much. But if you get a Frostbrand or any longsword from your god from sacrificing, it'll unrestrict the skill, so you can get it to at least basic, which is fine. So yeah, those are probably the two ideal endgame weapons for a archaeologist, but again, he just hasn't had the opportunity to get any weapons like that yet. He only sacrificed a few monsters on altars, so he hasn't really. I don't think he's gotten a single artifact gift yet, which is how you would normally get one of those. I know he's probably dying to get a better weapon than this Maddock. And then they can 2-weapon, probably at skilled, I think. No, just basic 2-weapon combat. So you can like dual wield weapons, which is really powerful, which is probably what he's going to end up doing by the end of the game. But still just using that Mattock for now. It sounds so weird when I say Mattock. It's a Maddock. I don't know how to say that. Google, help me.
Maddock. Maddock.
Maddock. Yep. I will put my emphasis on the correct syllable from now on. So he's looking for the castle wand right now. And there it is. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's confusing. They changed this from 3.4.3, which is the last version of NetHack, to 3.6.0, which is the current one. I'm pretty sure they made it so that trap can't be, or that chest can't be trapped, which is a huge deal because it could explode before. Let me make sure they didn't do it backwards, which I don't think they did. But I knew it went one way or the other. Yeah, there's a guaranteed untrapped chest containing a wand of wishing. Oh, but this is still 3.4.3. I'm pretty sure it's always untrapped in 3.6, but maybe I did it backwards and they reverted it by accident. We should look that up. Let's see. Let me see how we can pull this up real quick and just confirm that. So yeah, from 3.4.3 to 3.6.0, the chest in the castle containing the wishing wand can never be trapped. So he actually doesn't have to do this right now. And it's kind of, I don't know, funny that he didn't untrap this chest, but now he's doing this one. I could see being very paranoid about this, but if this chest were trapped, it could actually blow up and explode, and you'd lose the Wand of Wishing, which is a pretty essential item in this game. See, Earman, my usual technique is to hoard every piece of armor and weapon in a chest just off the level I'm exploring. I use the fast move to spot. So last time I got viewed, they thought I was a bot. Oh, that's funny. Force you tediously take everything to Mine Town, check it all for positive enchantment. Yeah, it's smart. I usually don't like wasting that many turns. If you have a pet, something you can do is whenever a piece of armor drops, at least for armor, you can let your pet walk over it to see if it's cursed or not. I don't know if you know that curse testing trick. And if it's, you can determine whether it's non-cursed, and you can throw the armor on, and you can determine its enchantment like that. That won't apply to weapons, but that'll save you time just trying to like haul everything down to Mine Town. Because yeah, that really is tedious. But it's so valuable to be able to like just throw every piece of armor on just to see if it's enchanted or not. That's. I guess he doesn't know that, or I don't know. I could see someone just being paranoid anyways. Almost just like superstition. But yeah, that in 3.6.0, if you're playing any of the NetHack 4 variants, I don't know if that's been fixed, but in vanilla 3.4.3, and even in the NAO patch, which is one of the common, I suppose, variants that people play of 3.4.3, that chest is really important to check for traps. So he's gonna identify the wand so we can see how many charges it has left. That's pretty good to do. I'd have to look into it, and I'm not gonna do it right now because I don't think it'll be easy to find right away. I'm not sure if there's an easy way to zap that wand that'll prevent accidentally resting it. It's always going to have at least one charge on it, but usually people will zap it until they know it doesn't have any charges left. But if you zap it when it has no charges, there's a chance that you lose it. Well, you get one more wish out of it, but you don't get the opportunity to recharge it. And that's called resting the wand. An oath, a 0/3 wand of wishing. That's nice. Nice. He just got his identified a 0% fail rate. Balance of fumbling, balance of power. I assume he'll start using those gauntlets of power, but he's gonna have to enchant them first. Reading his spell books. All of sleep, that's pretty nice. You just wish for a magic marker. So he's probably gonna go and enchant all his items. There is a repeat action key. Is there? I don't think there's one that I use. Oh, there you go. He wants the Grace one, dear. I guess he doesn't want to mess with sacrificing for artifacts. Or, I mean, he would never have gotten a Grace Wonder to begin with. I mean, honestly, I'm usually content with sacrificing till I get one of the firebrands or another item or weapon. But he wants to go straight for the Grace Wonder. Well, he does have a 0-3-1 of wishing, so he's going to have bonus luxury wishes. You can use that to work a wand of wishing. What do you mean by that? So I guess he was gonna have wishes left over from this anyways. He doesn't have a lot he needs to wish for, so I guess he just thought, you know what? I've got a 40 game streak on the line. I'm gonna wish it for like the best ideal weapon that I could have this game, and just make sure that keeps me out of like any tough situations. So I could get behind that wish. Oh, we were doing some more artifact wishing. So the blessed Platinum Enduring Express card. Interesting. I feel like a lot of experienced players end up not wishing for artifacts that much. Well, this is why, because early on, they're usually not the best thing you can wish for. You usually want Dragon Scale Mail first, to get your AC up, as well as getting one of the good other magic resistance or reflection. Instead of hitting 2 different keys, you just hold one down and tedious press it for 120 turns or whatever. Oh yeah, a lot of people will bind the Wand of Wishing or whatever one they're trying to rest to Z, so they can just hold down Z, because it's the zap key, and then zap the wand automatically. So you guys just want a refresher on the Plastic Endurian Express card. It's a really nice weapon or artifact. Or platinum. I don't know why I was calling it plastic. So it gives you magic resistance, telepathy, half spell damage, which is a pretty nice property to have. I think I like half physical or more, but half spell damage is pretty damn useful as well. And then unlimited charging, which is really valuable. Although, honestly, I don't have this artifact in a lot of my games. I don't always miss that. That'll save you from like having to write some scrolls, and it gets you a lot of extra like use out of your wands. So it's definitely something nice to have. I should pull up some of his other games and see what he wishes for at the castle, because it's kind of interesting seeing him make these wishes. But yeah, it's what else he does here. He's gonna use some potions. Maybe do some alchemy. Let's see. Oh, he's gonna chant the Grace Wonder. It's an obvious next step. I think that was just a full inventory identification. Should be able to charge a Platinum Enduring Express with gold. It doesn't actually have charges, so it just has like a cooldown time. Yeah, that'd be funny. Scroll up charging, pushing a holy water. Does... Yeah, let me pull up that page for the Platinum Enduring Express card again. Do only tourists get blessed? Yeah, for any non-tourist, the blessed card only acts as an uncursed scroll. Which, because normally if you're a Taurus and it's blessed, it acts like a blessed scroll of charging. So you don't want to use that to charge your wand of wishing, because blessed gives you 3 wishes and uncursed only gives 1. Oh, he just wasted it. Oh no. What did he do that for? Uh, so I don't know if you saw that, but he accidentally escaped out of the charging prompt when I asked somebody wanted to charge, which means you wasted the scroll and without charging anything. I don't know if he fat fingered that or what, but that's frustrating. He's gonna have to write a scroll of charging now if he wants to use that wand. Which is a lot of I mean, it's a non-zero number of charges off of the wand he just wished for, which is frustrating. Or the marker he just wished for, I'm sorry. Oh, that's so frustrating. See, you just had to write another scroll. He dipped the wand of wishing in holy water? Was that an accident? I think he wanted to dip the scroll into holy water. What's he doing? You just eat a tripe ration? He's eating tengu meat. There are minor benefits to blessing the wand of wishing. Are there? I mean, what is the difference between a blessed wand and an uncursed wand? Oh, vomiting. Yeah, that's a good point. Cursed wands are bad, and blessing does give you one more buffer from that, but that wand should pretty much always be I'd argue that there's really no difference between an uncursed and a blessed wand of wishing. The only difference would be if it's you leave it in your inventory and something casts curse items on you, it's going to have like one more buffer until it becomes cursed, which you don't want to use the wand if it's cursed because it might explode. You feel in control of yourself. So he just got damn, he got lucky. He just got controlled teleportation intrinsically without getting teleportitis, which honestly he might have wanted teleportitis now that they got this, but that's better than the opposite where you end up with teleportitis and no tele control. I suspect he would have wished for a ring of teleport control if he didn't get that. Wow, this is really interesting. I'm glad I'm watching this because he's doing a lot of things that I usually don't do. Um, I mean, he would have probably wanted teleport control at some point in this game anyways, but usually you can find a ring at some point or polymorph for it. Too bad it doesn't give you a better chance for like +3 instead of the normal chance for +2. Yeah, that would be interesting. I mean, honestly, I don't think any wand does anything different between uncursed and blessed. But some wands you do want to keep in your open inventory, so then that's where you want to start weighing it, because then they have a higher chance of getting cursed from like item cursing. That's how it is for a lot of items. You want to just bless them so that they don't go cursed right away. And like later in the game, you end up fighting a lot more monsters that can curse your items and whatnot. Yep. That's it for that one. We're 2 hours in. I'm gonna keep going. So let me take a quick like 1 minute break, and we will continue. So I assume he's still gonna be dealing with this one of wishing right now. I mean, this is always like a pretty big inventory management part of the game. He's gonna be writing enchant armor and weapon scrolls, and trying to like. He might do some polypiling. I don't know if he has any armor pieces he's not satisfied with. He probably wants a better cloak. He might wish up some more armor. So we're gonna see what he does here. But yeah, this is just another. Like always, when you get the castle wand, it's like, all right, let me assess my inventory, see what I want to use this wand on, and and so forth. Flanking some potions. Suspect he'll make some more holy water here soon because he only has 2 left. I didn't notice it earlier, but it's kind of amazing that that door to the top barracks is still intact. Usually a giant of some sort breaks it down. I guess it's more likely when you have lawful or like co-aligned peaceful giants, because I think they just wander around there without like beelining it to you, and I think they'll still knock down those doors. Where do you get the fountain? Yeah, he was using the unicorn horn to blank some potions. That'll blank stuff like yeah, I don't know the exact list. It's like hallucination, confusion, and stuff. Um, so dipping a unicorn horn into a potion of sickness turns into fruit juice, and dipping into blindness, confusion, or hallucination turns it into water. So you can dilute those 3 potions, and then turning sickness into fruit juice can, if you have fruit juice in your inventory, that'll let you stack both of those basically, and then you can dip all those at once if you have a fountain. So, but that's what he meant by bad potions: is blindness, confusion, and hallucination. A lot of wands here. Already seen lightning and fire. I suspect what he really wants here is um the chest. Now, I don't know if lieutenants can have silver sabers. He'd probably love a silver saber to offhand. For whenever he goes up to 2 weapon. What just broke apart? Oh, one magic missile or something? Yeah. Boo-hoo. No one of magic missile for you. Ones are pretty pointless at this point in the game. I like how he's still throwing that +4 dagger. Come on, man. That was short. Double the silver, double the fun. Pretty much. Focus break's pretty sensible. Yeah, I'm not ragging on him or anything. I do the same thing all the time. There's 100 reasons he could have saved there. Just funny. The first one went on for like 2 hours, and then we just had like a 2-minute one. I'm not sure if there's anything. Nah, I'm just like mumbling right now. I'm not sure if there's anything specific he's looking for in any of these item piles. But you know, it's always good to check. I like to grab any K rations I find. Although he grabbed 2 food rations and left the K ration, which is interesting. I'd say K rations are objectively better than food rations. I guess the only downside is you get 2 chances to end up with rotten food. Which still isn't a big deal, because if one's rotten, you still got the other one. I don't know. Which level is this? So he just left the castle and went back upstairs. So all the levels in between Medusa. No, we didn't pass the graveyard yet. The graveyard, Valley of the Dead, I assume you're talking about, is a level below the castle. But he's going back up. So all the levels in between Medusa and the castle are typically maze levels. And he hasn't done the quest yet, so I think he's going back up to do the quest. And actually, hang on a second. The Orb of Detection, which is his quest artifact, gives half spell damage. Just like the Platinum Yandorian Express card. So suspect that half spell damage didn't play a huge factor into why he wished for that card. I think he just wanted the unlimited recharging. Although honestly, he might not even use the orb of detection if he has this one already. I never noticed this, but they give the exact same 3 benefits: telepathy, magic resistance, and half spell damage. And the orb of detection just gives you invisibility toggle, which is like completely useless by the time you get to it, pretty much. And the Platinum Enduring Express card gives you unlimited charging. And the Enduring Express card weighs 1, and this weighs 150. He might not even pick this up. I want to see what he does. He might not even pick that up. I wouldn't. What's the point? I never noticed that those both did the exact same thing, except like when carried. That could almost use a buff. Oh yeah, the orb of detection is lawful, isn't it? As a base. Obviously, it's gonna be neutral this game. Well, maybe that's not obvious, but because he's neutral and this is a quest artifact, it's gonna be neutral. But for wishing purposes, yeah, it's lawful. Hey Grizz, how you doing, man? Grizz, I was on Twitch last night, and there was like a watch recommendation for XQC, and I assumed it was a clip because usually they show you clips, and I clicked on it, and it was him tilting, like at the end of a match, and then he quit Overwatch, and I was like, man, this is a really long clip, and then I realized I was watching it live, and I just happened to like tune into a point like that. But yeah, like 30 seconds into when I turned in, he like quit Overwatch, and he actually started playing Subnautica, which I thought was funny. Just funny that I just like clicked into it, and he was already tilting and like quitting the game. I haven't seen much of that game, but it looked like he was pretty far into it. Nice, I think he just upgraded his attack spells. Hell yeah. He's got Magic Missile, which is pretty kick-ass. Hey, what up, Gru? How you doing, man? What exploded there? Hmm. A hissing gas? Is that a potion of acid or something that might explode? Oh, probably, possibly. Wait, did he use Fireball? Oh, maybe. Hang on. Oh, he does have Fireball. Good call. It looked like he's zapped a wand of fire or something. I didn't realize he had Fireball, so yeah, that's exactly what it was, Earman. You couldn't stop playing Heat Sig, so you went to the park? That's funny. I think I'm gonna stream Heat Signature tonight as my chill Sunday night game before I have to go to work tomorrow. A lot of people have been talking about it, so it's got me wanting to play it a bit. Also, since I played it for like 30 minutes on... Actually, I ended up playing for like an hour on Saturday when I was trying to show you how it is. I'm glad you like it, though. Work on Monday. You thought this was a VOD, not a TTY rec? What's the difference? I guess it's not technically a video. Honestly, well, I couldn't get Jetty Play working today. It was like screwing up for some reason, so hopefully I can get that fixed by next time. But the Jetty Play is like an awesome way to review NetHack because I can control every frame. This I can pause and like go backwards and stuff, but I don't have quite as much control as I do in Jetty Play. I never just play at real time when I'm in Jetty Play. I just like go back and forth with the like frame by frame. And if I want to skip a lot, I'll just like move like forward or with the slider. Controlling every frame. That's how we do it. Have you played much Heat Signature, Dracunos? I suspect he's searching those statues for books. Every statue below what, dungeon level 3 or so has a chance for have a book inside, which is a weird little NetHack thing. Hmm. That gold's gonna be useful because he's gonna see a priest in a bit, so he can donate it with it. Does teleport control not work on those vault teleporters? I didn't see it ask him where he wanted to be teleported. It just sent him to the vault. Played like crazy until 8 hours or so. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty random that he did find Ludios right there. I haven't been into Ludios in like 10 plus years. It's just something I never bother with in my games. I don't know why he wanted to disarm the landmine, but there he is. Time to finish the quest, it seems. Yeah, what does he want with the landmine? That was weird. I have no idea. So he's about to blank all his scrolls and potions that he wants to blank. I think in this moat by jumping in and out. Blindly shot a shotgun down a hall that had some guys in front of the pilot right as the ship was going to dock. Pilot ended up getting airlocked. Awesome. Yeah, it's pretty fun when that game puts you in those. Oh, he has water walking boots now, so he's just dipping them. Before he didn't have any like water walking boots, so he just kept jumping in and out of the moat, which is something I don't see a lot of people do, but it's probably a good way to actually dilute things. There's another. I should look up the exact conditions where you can drown, but maybe unless you're like heavily encumbered, might be the only situation where you don't jump back out of the water like unharmed. So you just like put everything in your bag and put it on the ground that you don't want to dilute, and then just keep jumping in the water. But if you have boots of water walking, then you can just do this, and then every water tile is just like an infinite dilution source, basically. It's pretty damn nice. That's what those boots in the storeroom must have been, in the back of the castle. Making use of that magic missile. Which game? He's talking about Heat Signature Earman. It's a fun game. I'm actually going to stream it some tonight, if you've never seen it before. I'll be back on after I'm done with this review around 7 p.m. Eastern. 7 to 10. So all these snakes that generate on these filler levels have items in them, because like they spawn under items. So there's like extra items that are generated, which is kind of cool. I didn't see what that tool was over there. I don't know if that was a crystal ball or like lenses or something. Obviously something he didn't care about. Still being careful with chests. Attempting to untrap them before opening them. I had a few enchant scrolls in it, so it was nice. Like I said, always explore these full filler levels, or explore these filler levels fully. You can find some nice items. I think he's coming back up just to use this altar. Have you ever seen anyone use hook strats? No, actually, I don't know if I've ever seen anyone use a hook, to be completely honest with you. So you mean the grappling hook that's a NetHack, or just the hook? Earlier in this game, he was actually using a bullwhip a lot, which is similar. It'd be fun to use a hook just as like a, I don't know, a conduct or something at some point. Oh, so it looks like he came up to use those enchant scrolls. I want to see what his equipment's at, if he goes into his inventory at any point. 28 potions of water. Damn. See, he's gonna do some alchemy with his healing potions. But he can only make them... There's not even much alchemy he can do here. It's not a lot of healing potions to, like, get all the way up to full healing. So I don't know what he's... just content using extra healing right now, or what? Okay, oh no. Those are the same extra healing potions. Okay, so he did upgrade them to full healing. It's only 3 potions though. I don't know why he didn't just wait to do that. Unless he's... was he encumbered? He might just be trying to, like, use potions just to reduce his weight. Although he could have just, like, dropped a bunch of holy water if he wanted to do that. He drank a blessed... that must have been an enlightenment potion, which raises all your non-physical stats. Wisdom, intelligence, and charisma, I believe. Yeah, I think he's just trying to, like, get rid of some weight that he's carrying right now. Which usually means, alright, let me go through my potions and see what I can use. Let me bless stuff, let me, like, use scrolls. So we got a +6 Grace Wand here. Which is nice. He needs to upgrade some of that armor. He's still wearing the water walking boots. I don't know if he realizes that. Those speed boots would be much better. He just engraved with Grace Windier to bring it back down from +6 to +5 enchantment. So he can take another attempt to enchant it to +7. Which is something I honestly don't bother doing. I think he has excess enchant weapon scrolls right now, so maybe that's why he's doing it. On Grace Windier, that's going to be an extra +1 to hit and an extra +2 to damage every time it hits. And it is at +7 now, so that worked out. He's getting, like, fought when he's, like, taking off all his armor. He doesn't even have the Dragon Scale Mail on right now. Hmm. He's gonna enchant the speed boots first. Yeah, just a little bit of inventory management, using some of the scrolls up. Is the quest always a guaranteed altar? This particular quest is, yeah. All of them don't have guaranteed ones. Some of them have unaligned ones, which can't be converted, but can be used to BUC test items, so... if you're not sure, just look up what quest level you have and see if it has that dungeon feature, if it has altars or not. I don't know off the top of my head which ones do and which ones don't, but a handful of them do have guaranteed altars. So this is his quest nemesis level. I really don't even think he's gonna pick up his quest artifact. What's with that unicorn horn name? I didn't see it. You can tell me what it is, or I'll keep an eye out for it when he opens his inventory again. Oh, does it have like a bunch of like letters? That's how he's keeping track of his resistances. So PR is poison resist, CR is cold resist, FR is fire resist. And he's just note taking with it. That's the old school way of taking some NetHack notes. 3.6 has a little bit of extra functionality for that. You can annotate dungeon levels and stuff, which that actually wouldn't be very useful for keeping track of your own resistances. I usually keep notes out of game. I used to do that a lot too, though. But then I decided to take my note taking up to another level, which using items in your inventory just wasn't suitable for. There's his quest nemesis, that red demon. Huh. He attacked it once and it ran to the staircase without even picking it up. So because of their movement patterns, I'd expect he just wants to run to this upstairs instead of fighting this guy right here. He'll actually fight him. Okay, so he actually ended up killing him without having it run away. Those guys can be kind of annoying to fight. Because they're covetous and they move like a covetous monster, which means they teleport back and forth from the upstairs whenever they're close to dying. But since he does so much damage to him with the Grace Deer, and he might have gotten a double turn from speed, he was able to kill him without having to worry about that. So instead of carrying on that spell book, he just blessed it and dropped it. Or he read it before dropping it, of course. Hmm. I think he was going to his bag looking for a tool that was in his inventory already. I'm not sure. Where do you get all those potions? You never see that many? Yeah, you can collect a lot of potions wandering the dungeon. Just on the ground and stuff, you know? So, he actually toggled invisibility. Wait a minute. Which is what the orb of detection does. And then he put it in his bag, which that only works while it's in your open inventory. He may not have known that. I was just trying it. I'm surprised he didn't take that bag of holding, because that is grade A poly fodder right there. But maybe he's just worried of fat fingering and losing it. Like losing his like whole inventory in this game. Which is a reasonable worry. Especially when we have a 40 game Ascension streak on the line, so maybe he's like, no, I'm not going to risk The dreaded fat finger. He does play fast and has made some mistakes like that before. Nothing of that magnitude, but some minor mistakes. So maybe he's self-aware of that, and isn't even going to take the risk, which I think is smart, or reasonable at least. It's not optimal, but it's a reasonable precaution to take if you think you're prone to a mistake like that. I mean, of course, what I'm referring to is if you accidentally put that bag of holding into your other bag of holding, it explodes and you lose everything that was inside the bag of holding. But yeah, it's a magic tool, so you can polymorph that and get like magic markers. Basically, is what you'd want. Pretty nice. Oh, you must. Okay, I guess you have to bring the quest item back up to get him to move off the chest. That's one reason to bring that up here. Where's the throne he's sitting on? I guess you gotta get him to move. I think all the nemesis or the quest leaders are a little different in that some of them move like right after you talk to them the first time, and they like give you the quest. Not sure what he's trying to make there. What did he dip together? Enlightenment, levitation. I don't remember what that does. Pull up the alchemy page for a second. I usually don't do a lot of alchemy outside of the healing tree. So if you use enlightenment and levitation, you have a 6 in 10 chance of getting gain level, which is what he was going for. 30% chance of getting a random potion, or actually a random alchemy result, which I think is different than a random potion. And then 10% chance of getting an explosion. So he was hoping for some gain level potions. And again, I think he's only doing that to shed some weight, which I don't know why he doesn't just drop the orb of detection. That thing's weighing him down, but he ended up just getting potions of sickness. He just dropped a potion of acid on the ground, which you can't dilute a potion of acid. They explode when you dip them in water. I don't think cancellation does anything to them either. Not 100% on that. Which, the spirit of the stream, let's look that up and confirm. A potion of acid can be canceled to turn into a potion of water, so you can. But he didn't have a source of cancellation, so I guess that's why he didn't carry it around. And he still has a shitload of water, so I don't think he's too concerned about that. But yeah, you can't dilute it with a fountain. Huh. So, hang on. He's just going upstairs. I don't know why he's going upstairs or what he's looking for. I guess he didn't clear all these levels, and I don't know if he's intending to clear them, but it looks like he just found a bones level that he ran through. Which could be interesting. If if that guy had an artifact and he didn't realize it, he could have like screwed up his artifact wish earlier because he wished for Grace Wonder and the Platinum Yandorian Express card. Oh, it's another dead archaeologist. And he did not have. Oh, he has 2 sacks. He probably has stuff in the sacks. That one's empty. He's trying to identify this wand. Wand of nothing. Thanks, Merpish. Thanks for nothing, literally. So I assume he's just going back through every level to just get every resource he can. Now that it's quite not as dangerous. I don't know what else he would be doing here, but it's not a terrible idea when you have like a big Ascension streak on the line. It's a pretty safe thing to do, honestly. I don't know if there's anything in particular he's looking for, like a certain scroll or something that he wants. But it looks like he's just going through. Or maybe it's more than that, because that last level he left largely unexplored. Making a stash. Oh, he's gonna nurse dance. That's exactly what he's gonna do. Get his health up. Sokoban's a good place to do that. Because they can't teleport away. Let's see how much health he gets. He's at 141 right now. So nurses, if you don't have any armor on, and you don't have any weapons equipped, their attacks heal you, and they'll raise your health if you're at max. And what happens is once they heal you, they like teleport away normally. But if you're on a no teleport level, they can't do that. So they just keep raising your max health, and then eventually they just disappear. He's just holding down. That's really scary when you have an Ascension streak on the line, just holding down the wait button. The only thing that could get to him right now would be a giant of some type that picks up that boulder, but then he could let everything else in. So what did he just write? Chan armor. Magic mapping. Yet again, some... This is a little more than just inventory management. That's basically what this boils down to, is writing some scrolls, improving your armor. I haven't paid attention to how much health he's been ascending with. I suspect he'd want a pretty fat health pool for this. So that first one gave him about 40, 44 health. There was still one nurse left that after that too, so he probably would have gotten a little more. This second one he added on top of that, he's up, geez, 117 points. Man, that is scary, just sitting there holding down that button. With the 282 health. Is he satisfied with that? Looks like it. Got his armor up to +4. He's gonna use his magic marker some more. Feel a surge of power, but nothing seems to happen. I think that's a express card effect. He's up to 18/44 strength from eating corpses of giants. So that's pretty nice, actually. He's gonna drop that troll corpse upstairs. That's funny. Or no, he's just gonna eat it. I don't even know why he did that then. Maybe he wasn't sure if he'd be able to eat the whole thing. Oh, we're gonna nurse dance some more. Never used that mass remove armor um, feature. Oh, he's not gonna nurse dance. He's gonna keep enchanting his armor. Okay. He's using magic mapping when his marker doesn't have a lot of charges left, because it's less likely that he'll successfully write a scroll of enchant armor. He's gonna continue going up. I'm not sure what he's looking for. Is he actually holding the orbital detection just to have invisibility? Seems like insane to have 150 weight in your inventory just to be invisible. It must be nice for nurse dancing though, because if you're invisible, they won't hit you, and if you have a mummy wrapping on, well, they will hit you if you're invisible, but I think it's a lot less likely. So it'll take longer. You're just upping his AC a little bit. That go from, yeah, 19 to 20. He already had some points of protection. I don't know what he's at. But if you put on a mummy wrapping to go uninvisible, then you can't get healing from the nurses, because they won't do it if you have armor on. I need to cut this stream off soon, by the way, so we'll see if we get to a good stopping point here soon. I was planning to wait until he got to Valley of the Dead and then kill it there, but I might have to do a little earlier. We're running on 3 hours right now. This is about how long I usually do one of these, 3 or 4 hours, but it's getting late and I need to do a few more things today. I enjoyed doing this, so I could do it all night if I had the time. Going back and buying some candles, which you don't really need to do in 3.6 because you get a full set in Vlad's tower. Whoa, yeah, make sure you spell that right. Gain some free action. Is pretty important if for a run like this, I suspect. Like usually I'd probably wait to see if I just find one of those rings by the time I get through like Orcus Town or something. Is he gathering candles for his Ascension kit? Yeah, I assume so. I don't see any other reason why he would have them. Yeah, like free action you usually want eventually. Like by the time you get to the astral plane. I think just because he's on like the super conservative side, maybe that's why he's wishing for it right now. And he's at the point where his wishes are like luxury wishes, so he can wish for stuff like that. Hey, what do you know? Valley of the Dead. Maybe that was gonna happen soon. I want to see if he's gonna find the stair and go upstairs, but yeah, we're gonna call it right around here. All right, let's call it right here. How does that sound? Well, that was a fun run to keep track of, or to review. That castle, that was all pretty interesting. It's, I don't know, I like seeing into the mindset that players like him tend to play in. I mean, between the wishes he used, the eating the Tengu meat that he chose to eat at that time, which is a little risky, I think. If he got teleportitis without controlled teleport, he would have had to use a ring slot on teleport control, essentially, I think, until he got more corpses to do. And I assume maybe he would have, actually not even maybe, I bet you he would have read cursed genocide scrolls to make more Tengus until he got teleport control. If those 2 tins that he had gathered along the run weren't successful, but he got it with those 2 tins that he already had, so I guess he didn't have to do that. Actually, I almost guarantee that's what he would have done. And then between the nurse dancing there and stuff, it's kind of interesting to see how he plays some of this stuff and some of the things he does. So I thought the Gray Swindeer and the Platinum Enduring Express card were pretty interesting wishes. I suppose he was in luxury wish territory at that point, but um, I think I don't know if he would have done that on a normal game, but he at this point he's playing like very cautiously on all his games. So um, pretty interesting stuff.